There are words that slip past her defenses, words that don't just touch her ears but crawl under her skin, settle in her mind and haunt her when she's alone. You see, attraction isn't always built on beauty or charm. Sometimes it's built on the way you make her feel when she hears your voice say her name. There are names that men use casually, but there are also forbidden nicknames, the kind that make her heart stutter, her breath catch, and her mind spiral into thoughts she never intended to have about you. Because when you say the right name, with the right tone, you don't just talk to her, you touch her soul. Welcome to Psychology of Desire. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what you're about to learn isn't surface-level flirtation. It's human psychology, raw, emotional, and real. You see, when a woman feels emotionally drawn to you, her logical mind tries to protect her. But these nicknames, these verbal triggers, slip through her logic and go straight to her subconscious. They bypass her defenses like a whisper in the dark. It's not about manipulation. It's about connection. The kind that lingers even when you're not around. Think of it like this. Every woman carries a secret version of herself that only comes out when she feels truly seen. Most men never meet that version. They only meet the mask, polite, composed, distant. But when you use the right name, spoken with presence and intention, it tells her subconscious, he sees me. He understands the side of me I don't show anyone. And suddenly, you become unforgettable. You might have noticed how some nicknames make her smile in a way that's different, softer, almost shy. That's not coincidence. That's a psychological shift. When you say something that feels personal, something that touches her in a place words usually can't reach, her brain releases oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds people emotionally. It's the chemistry of belonging. And once she feels that around you, she doesn't want to lose it. The forbidden part isn't about being dirty or bold. It's about being deeply personal. It's when the nickname carries emotion, not just sound. For example, calling her by something that reminds her of how you see her differently from the rest. That's powerful. You're telling her, I notice things about you no one else does. And women crave that feeling of being uniquely understood, of being special. Picture this. You're sitting with her. Maybe it's late. The world feels quiet. She laughs about something small, maybe something she thinks is silly. And instead of just laughing with her, you tilt your head, meet her eyes, and say that nickname, slow, deliberate, as if it means something only between you two. In that moment, she feels something she can't explain. Her body stays still, but her heart isn't. It's trying to understand what just happened. Because your words didn't just come from your mouth. They came from somewhere deeper. There's a thin line between affection and obsession, and that line is drawn by how deeply you make her feel seen. The right nickname doesn't just touch her. It claims a small space in her emotional world, a space no one else has. And once you're there, she starts thinking of you at random moments, while brushing her hair, scrolling her phone, driving in silence. It's not about control. It's about emotional presence, the feeling that your voice still echoes in her head even when you're gone. But remember, not all nicknames carry that power. Most are just noise. It's not the word that matters, it's the meaning you wrap around it. When you say it with a quiet kind of confidence, like you're not seeking her approval but simply acknowledging her essence, that's when she feels it. That's when the forbidden becomes irresistible. The kind of name that lingers like a secret. The kind that makes her think, why does it sound so different when he says it? And that is where the obsession begins. There's something magnetic about the way emotion hides inside language, the way a single word, whispered softly, can burn longer in her memory than hours of conversation. These forbidden nicknames aren't random. They are emotional fingerprints, carved into the spaces between affection and desire. When used the right way, They create a sense of intimacy that feels almost dangerous because she starts to feel too close, closer than she ever meant to be. You see, her mind isn't always in control of her feelings. Women respond not just to what they hear, but to what they feel beneath the sound. A nickname with warmth, mystery, and familiarity all at once tells her subconscious that you are emotionally safe, but also unpredictable. And that combination is intoxicating. It keeps her curious, wondering what you'll say next, what you'll reveal next, and why her body reacts before her mind even catches up. The first forbidden nickname is the one that softens her guard. It's not cute or playful. It's calm, quiet, and almost reverent, like you're saying it as if she's someone precious, not someone you're trying to impress. Something like, my calm, beautiful trouble, or sweet chaos. Words that sound like you've seen both sides of her, the light and the dark, and you're not afraid of either. When you say it, you're not complimenting her looks, you're acknowledging her essence. That makes her feel emotionally naked in front of you, and she'll never forget that feeling. The second forbidden nickname is the one that anchors emotion to your presence. It's the name that becomes a private signal between you two. Maybe something only you call her. Something that makes her think of you every time she hears it, even in passing. It's powerful because it creates emotional conditioning. Her brain begins to associate that nickname with your voice, your energy, your connection. You become a feeling, not just a person. So when she misses you, it's not just loneliness, it's withdrawal. There's a deep psychology behind this. When a woman feels emotionally stimulated, her dopamine levels spike, the same way they do when she's falling in love. The right nickname triggers that loop, reinforcing the pleasure of you. It's like leaving an invisible thread tied to her heart, one that tightens every time she remembers the way you said it. But here's where it gets darker. She won't tell you that she's replaying it in her head. She'll act normal, maybe even distant, because the intensity of that attachment scares her. Women often fear how much control emotion can have, so she'll smile it off, pretend it was nothing. But inside, she'll crave that sound again. She'll want you to say it like you did the first time, when her heart skipped just slightly out of rhythm. That's when you know it's working, not through her words, but through her silence. And this is where most men fail. They overuse it. They think repetition makes it stronger. But mystery feeds desire, not predictability. You should say it rarely, unexpectedly, almost like a secret that slips out by accident. Because if you make her wait for it, her anticipation becomes obsession. It's the scarcity of the moment that gives it power. There's a certain darkness in how human emotion works, how something so small, so innocent, can rewire the way someone thinks of you. But that's the art of emotional seduction. It's not about chasing her body, it's about haunting her mind. Because once her mind belongs to you, everything else follows. And we are only getting started. The next forbidden nickname is one most men never dare to use, because it exposes something deeper than desire. The third forbidden nickname isn't about sweetness or charm. It's about truth. It's the one that makes her freeze for a moment, not because it flatters her, but because it reveals her. This nickname carries weight. It's the one that whispers, I see the part of you you hide from the world. When you call her something like, my storm, wild heart, or fragile fire, you're naming what she feels inside but never says out loud. And that's powerful, because recognition is intimacy. You have to understand something deep about feminine psychology. Women crave to be understood. Not praised, not pursued. Understood. Most men only admire the parts of her that are easy to love. But when you speak to the part of her that's complex, unpredictable, even a little broken, she feels safe in a way that's terrifying, because you're touching the side of her she thought nobody could reach. This kind of nickname works like emotional hypnosis. It takes her out of her head and pulls her into the emotional present, into you. Her walls lower without her realizing it, because suddenly, you're not just talking to her, you're feeling her. Every time you say it, her body softens slightly, her tone changes, her guard fades. That's not romance, that's resonance. You're vibrating at the same emotional frequency she hides beneath her smile. And this is where dark psychology meets tenderness, because when you awaken emotion in her, she'll start to chase that emotional high again, the same way people chase the feeling of being truly seen. But the key is not to chase her. The key is to hold the silence after you say it. Let the air hang heavy. Let her feel what those words do to her. That pause is where the connection deepens. There's also something poetic about this. The way her body reacts before her brain rationalizes it. Her pupils dilate, her breathing slows, her energy shifts toward you. It's primal. The subconscious knows before the conscious mind does. She starts to crave your attention because it carries meaning, not flattery. And that's what makes it forbidden. You're not giving her a nickname. You're giving her identity through your perception. But here's the beauty of it. It only works if it's authentic. Women have an intuitive radar for emotional truth. If you say it to manipulate, she'll feel the distortion instantly. But if you say it from presence, from genuine awareness, it becomes unforgettable. Because to her, it will sound like her soul being spoken out loud. Imagine this. She's talking to you about something vulnerable. Maybe she says she feels too much, or that people never stay. Most guys would comfort her. You instead tilt your head and say, "That's because you're my storm. You're not meant to be contained." And then silence. No explanation, no over-talking, just that line, and the space after it. She'll go quiet, maybe even blush or look away. But inside, her heart will whisper, "He gets me." That's how obsession begins, not from lust, but from being understood. This third nickname is dangerous because it builds emotional dependency. She starts linking her emotional identity to your recognition of her. And that's when she becomes magnetically drawn to your presence. Because without you, she doesn't feel as seen. And in that craving, that silent emotional ache lies your power. Not to control her, but to understand her better than anyone else ever did. But there's another layer. The next forbidden nickname plays not on her vulnerability, but on her ego. It's the one that flips her instincts, making her chase the validation she didn't realize she needed from you. The fourth forbidden nickname works like fire hidden beneath silk. Soft on the surface, but it burns the moment it touches her pride. This is the nickname that awakens the part of her that wants to impress you. It plays on her ego, her need to feel desired, admired, and chosen, but in a way that feels intimate, not obvious. You're not worshiping her beauty, you're challenging it. And women become addicted to the men who make them feel something they can't quite master. You see, when most men compliment a woman, they hand her validation. But when you use this type of nickname, you make her work for it. You turn it into a game of subtle tension, a psychological push and pull that fuels attraction. Something like my troublemaker, dangerous girl, or even heart thief. Names that sound like praise, but with an undertone of challenge. It tells her you're aware of her power, and that you're not afraid of it. That's what makes you unforgettable. This kind of nickname activates a deep feminine instinct, the need to prove her worth to the one man who doesn't fall too easily. The moment you say it, you plant a seed of curiosity. She starts wondering, why does it sound different when he says it? Why does it feel like he sees the version of me I don't show anyone? And before she knows it, her thoughts orbit around you. You've entered her mind not as a man chasing her, but as a mystery she's trying to decode. This works because of a principle in dark psychology known as selective validation. When you give approval in small doses, wrapped in emotional intensity, it creates craving. It's like emotional scarcity. She starts to feel a pull between wanting more and wondering if she'll ever fully earn it. That tension is what makes her chase, even if she doesn't realize she's doing it. But you have to deliver it with composure, never with obvious flirtation. You say it like it just slips out, like it's something you feel but don't mean to reveal. The subtle hesitation, the way your tone drops half an octave, the pause afterward, that's what creates the psychological hook. It's the mystery in your delivery that keeps her guessing. Imagine this. You're standing close, maybe teasing her about something she said. She fires back playfully, confident, in control. You give her that quiet, knowing look, the one that says you see through the act, and murmur, "Careful, heart thief." The words hang there, playful but heavy. She'll laugh, maybe roll her eyes, but her heartbeat will betray her, because that single moment shifted the energy between you from playful to charged. And later that night, she'll remember it, the way you said it, the way her chest tightened, the way her mind didn't want to stop replaying it. That's the addiction, the echo of emotional tension that refuses to fade. But don't mistake this for manipulation. The goal isn't control, it's awareness. You're learning how emotional gravity works, how words can pull someone closer without a single touch. Because the deeper truth is this: attraction isn't about what you say, it's about what your words make her feel she can't control. That's why this nickname is forbidden, because it doesn't just make her feel desired, it makes her desire your approval. And that shift changes everything. She begins to seek moments where you'll use it again. Every glance, every joke, every spark between you becomes charged with the question, will he say it again? And when he does, it's over. The connection is sealed, the craving ignited. But there's one more. The final forbidden nickname, the most dangerous of them all. The one that doesn't just make her feel seen or desired. It makes her emotionally bound to you in a way she won't be able to explain. The fifth forbidden nickname isn't playful or teasing or even romantic. It's intimate. It's the kind of name that reaches beyond the surface and plants itself somewhere deep inside her emotional memory. This one doesn't just make her think of you. It becomes you. Every time she hears it, even when you're not around, it echoes in her mind like a heartbeat she can't quiet. This nickname is personal, sacred, almost dangerous, because it feels like it belongs only to the two of you. It's something so soft, so emotionally charged, that even she won't want anyone else to call her that. It could be something as simple as my peace, or as haunting as my reason. It's not about the word itself, it's about the meaning you breathe into it. When you say it with quiet conviction, when your tone carries care instead of lust, depth instead of desperation, it becomes an emotional signature, a mark she can't erase. The psychology behind it runs deep. The human brain ties emotion to association, sound, tone, context. When a woman hears you say that word in moments of vulnerability, laughter, or quiet connection, it becomes anchored to the feelings she experiences with you. That's why it's forbidden, because it stops being just a nickname. It turns into an emotional trigger. And once that happens, even distance can't break it. She'll feel it in places she doesn't understand. But you must handle it carefully. This nickname carries power, and power without empathy becomes manipulation. The real art of attraction is not making someone fall for you. It's creating space where their soul feels safe enough to fall. When you use this name, don't rush it. Don't overuse it. Let it slip out in moments that matter, moments of stillness, of connection, of truth. Because if you use it right, it will haunt her, Gently, beautifully, painfully. Imagine this. You're with her, and there's a quiet between you. No noise, no chaos, just silence and presence. She looks at you, maybe waiting for you to say something. And you do. You call her that name, softly, with meaning. And she exhales, as if the sound itself told her everything words never could. That's when she realizes it's not just attraction anymore. It's connection. And that's when she's yours, not by choice, but by emotion. In the end, every forbidden nickname shares one truth. It's never about what you say. It's about why you say it, and the energy you carry when you do, the way your words hold emotion without needing to explain it, the way you make her feel something she can't describe. That's the essence of desire. Not possession, not pursuit. Presence. When you understand that, you don't chase attraction. You command it. You speak less, but everything you say echoes louder in her mind. You become the quiet voice she remembers when everything else fades. That's the secret. Not louder words, but deeper ones. So use them wisely. Speak with emotion, not intention. Let your words touch her heart, not her ego. And remember, the most powerful names are the ones whispered, not shouted. Because the ones whispered are the ones remembered forever. This is Psychology of Desire. If this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because every week we explore the raw, unseen truths of attraction, emotion, and human desire. Until next time, speak softly, but leave a mark that lasts.